Hello, dear listeners. Welcome back to English with Helen, the channel where we help you improve your English while learning useful life lessons. I'm so happy you are here today. My name is Jason, and I'm your host. On this podcast, we talk about many topics that help you practice your English listening and speaking skills. We also talk about important ideas that can help you in real life. So you are not only learning English, you are also learning how to grow as a person. Today we are going to talk about a topic that many people find difficult. That topic is how to set boundaries with people. You may have heard the word boundaries before, but maybe you are not sure what it really means. Or maybe you know what it means, but you find it hard to set them in your own life. Don't worry. Today, we will go step by step and explain everything in a simple and easy way. My goal is to help you understand this topic clearly and help you practice your English at the same time. So why is setting boundaries so important? Well, without clear boundaries, it is easy for other people to take too much of your time, your energy, or your space. You might feel tired, stressed, or even unhappy because you're doing things you don't want to do, or saying yes when you really want to say no. Setting boundaries helps you protect your personal space and your feelings. It helps you show others how you want to be treated, and most importantly, it helps you respect yourself. In today's episode, we're going to explore what boundaries really are. We will talk about why it can sometimes be hard to set boundaries, even when you know you need them. We will also discuss how you can recognize when it's time to set a boundary, and I will share simple steps you can follow to do this in your daily life. We will also look at how people might react when you set a boundary, and how you can handle these reactions with confidence. Finally, we will talk about the good things that happen when you set healthy boundaries, like feeling less stress, building stronger relationships, and having more time for yourself. So sit back, relax, and get ready to learn something new today. You can listen to this episode as many times as you like to practice your English. You can also try speaking along with me or repeating some of the sentences to practice your speaking. Remember, at English with Helen, we are here to help you learn English in a fun, simple, and useful way. Let's get started. Let's begin by understanding what boundaries really are. The word boundary might sound a little strange, but it is actually very simple. A boundary is like an invisible line you create to show where something starts and where something ends. It's a way of saying, this is okay for me, or this is not okay for me. It helps people understand what you are comfortable with and what you are not comfortable with. Boundaries help you protect your feelings, your time, and your personal space. They're like small rules you make for yourself and for others so you can feel safe, respected, and happy in your life. There are many types of boundaries. Let's look at a few common ones in everyday life. First, there are emotional boundaries. These are about your feelings and emotions. For example, you may not want to share very personal stories with someone you don't trust yet, or you may not feel comfortable when someone speaks to you in a rude or hurtful way. Setting an emotional boundary means you tell others how you want to be treated emotionally. You can say things like, "Please don't speak to me like that," or "I'm not ready to talk about this right now." Next, we have physical boundaries. These are about your body and personal space. Imagine you're sitting on a bus and someone sits very close to you, even when there are many empty seats. That can feel uncomfortable, right? Or maybe you don't like it when someone touches you without asking, even if they are just being friendly. Physical boundaries let people know how close they can get to you, and that kind of touch is okay. You can say, "Please give me some space," or "I don't like hugs, thank you." Another type is time boundaries. Time boundaries are about how you use your time and how you let others use it. For example, if a friend often calls you late at night when you are trying to sleep, that can be a problem. Or if a coworker always asks you to help with their work when you are already busy, that can make you feel stressed. Setting time boundaries means you decide how much time you can give to others and how much time you need for yourself. You can say, "I can help you, but only for 10 minutes," or "I need to leave at 5 p.m. today." Finally, there are personal space boundaries, which are connected to physical boundaries, but also include your belongings and your surroundings. For example, maybe you don't like it when someone goes through your bag or uses your things without asking. Or maybe you need some quiet time in your room to relax and recharge. Setting personal space boundaries means you tell others what is private for you and what you need to feel comfortable. You can say, "Please don't go through my things," or "I need some quiet time alone." Now you may ask, why does everyone need boundaries? The answer is simple. Boundaries help us take care of ourselves. Without boundaries, people might take too much from us, too much time, too much energy, or too much space. We might start to feel tired, upset, or even angry because we are doing things we don't want to do. We might say yes to things we actually want to say no to, just because we are afraid of hurting someone's feelings. But when we don't set boundaries, we end up hurting ourselves. Boundaries also help other people understand us better. When we are clear about our needs and limits, we make it easier for others to know how to treat us with respect. Boundaries are not about being rude or pushing people away. They are about creating healthy, positive relationships where everyone feels respected. When you set good boundaries, you show people that you respect yourself, and you invite them to respect you too. Remember, everyone has the right to set boundaries, no matter how old you are, where you come from, or what kind of relationships you have. Whether it's with family, friends, coworkers, or even strangers, boundaries help you stay true to yourself. They help you create a life that feels good, safe, and balanced. And the best part? You can start learning how to set boundaries today, step by step, in small but powerful ways. Let's now take a moment to talk about why setting boundaries is so important. Many people don't realize just how much boundaries can change their lives in a positive way. They might think boundaries are only about saying no or keeping people away, but that's not true. Boundaries are actually about creating healthy, respectful relationships, both with others and with yourself. First, setting boundaries helps you protect your energy and time. Every person has only so much energy in a day. If you keep saying yes to everything, soon you will feel tired and overwhelmed. Imagine you keep helping friends, coworkers, or family all day long, but you never take time to rest or care for yourself. After a while, you will feel exhausted, and you won't have the energy to do the things that are important to you. By setting clear limits, you can make sure you have time to rest, relax, and focus on your own needs. Another important reason is that boundaries help you feel more respected. When you clearly tell people what you can and cannot do, they begin to understand your needs better. This teaches others how to treat you with care and respect. For example, if you tell a friend you need quiet time in the evening and they listen, you feel valued. On the other hand, if you never say anything, People may keep crossing your lines without even realizing it, which can lead to frustration or hurt feelings. Boundaries are also important because they help you build healthier and stronger relationships. Many people think that saying yes to everything will make people like them more, but that's not true. In fact, when you say yes all the time, you can start to feel unhappy, and you may even begin to feel resentful toward the people around you. By setting boundaries, you show people your true needs and feelings, which makes relationships more honest and fair. This way, both you and the other person can feel good about the connection you share. Another key reason is that boundaries help lower stress and improve your mental health. When you set clear limits, you create a sense of safety and order in your life. You know what to expect, and you know you have time for rest and self-care. This reduces feelings of anxiety, pressure, or frustration. You stop feeling pulled in too many directions, and you gain a greater sense of peace and control. Finally, setting boundaries builds your confidence and self-respect. Every time you stand up for yourself and say what you need, you strengthen your own sense of worth. You remind yourself that your feelings, needs, and time are important. Over time, this helps you become more confident, strong, and sure of yourself. In short, setting boundaries is not selfish. It's an important and healthy part of life. It helps you protect your energy, build better relationships, reduce stress, and grow stronger inside. In the next part of the episode, we'll talk about why it's hard to set boundaries and why so many people struggle with it, even when they know they need it. Keep listening. You're doing a great job learning all these important lessons. Now that we understand what boundaries are and why they are important, let's talk about something that many people experience. Why is it so hard to set boundaries? You might think that setting a boundary is simple. You just tell someone what you need or what you don't want. But in real life, it can feel much more difficult. Many people struggle with setting boundaries, even when they know they should. Let's explore why. One big reason people find it hard to set boundaries is fear. You might be afraid that if you say no to someone, they will get upset. Maybe you think they will stop liking you, or that they will leave you. This fear can be especially strong if you have a close relationship with the person, like a friend, a partner, or a family member. For example, imagine your friend always asks you for help with their schoolwork or projects. You want to say no because you are tired or busy, but you are afraid they will be angry or stop being your friend. So you say yes, even though you don't want to. Fear can make us put other people's needs before our own. Another common reason is guilt. Many people feel guilty when they try to set boundaries. They might think, I should help because I'm a good person, or if I say no, I'm being selfish. But the truth is, setting boundaries is not selfish. It's healthy. Still, guilt can make you feel bad about taking care of your own needs. For example, imagine your coworker asks you to stay late and help with a project, but you already have plans to go home and rest. You want to say no, but you feel guilty because you don't want to let them down. So you stay and help, even though you are tired. This guilt can make it very hard to protect your own time and energy. A third reason people struggle with boundaries is the strong desire to please others. Many of us want to make people happy. We like hearing people say, "Thank you, you're the best," or "I'm so glad you helped me." We don't want to disappoint anyone, but when you always try to please others, you can forget about your own needs. For example, Imagine you are always the one who organizes plans for your group of friends. You handle the details, make the calls, and check on everyone. But after a while, you feel exhausted. You wish someone else would take over, but you're used to making everyone happy, so you keep doing it. Wanting to please others can make it difficult to step back and say, "I need a break." Sometimes people also struggle with boundaries because they don't know how to say no in a clear but kind way. They may not have learned the skills or language to express their limits. Maybe they were taught as children that saying no is rude, or that you should always be helpful. So now as adults, they feel uncomfortable when they try to set boundaries. For example, if your neighbor keeps asking you for small favors, like watering their plants or picking up their mail, you might not know how to politely say no, even when you are busy. You might worry that you will sound unfriendly or mean. It's also important to remember that sometimes cultural or family expectations can make setting boundaries harder. In some cultures or families, people believe you should always help your relatives no matter what. Saying no to a parent, an elder, or a sibling might feel wrong or disrespectful, even if you are feeling overwhelmed. For example, maybe your parents expect you to help with everything at home, even when you have a lot of schoolwork or your own job. You want to set a boundary, but you are afraid it will cause problems in the family. All of these examples show that while setting boundaries is healthy and necessary, it can also bring up strong emotions like fear, guilt, or discomfort. But here's the good news. You are not alone. Many people around the world face these same challenges. Learning to set boundaries is like learning any new skill. It takes time, practice, and patience. You don't have to be perfect right away. You can start small with simple boundaries and slowly build your confidence. The more you practice, the easier it becomes. In the next part of this episode, we will talk about how you can recognize when you need a boundary. We will explore the signs and feelings that tell you it's time to speak up and protect your space, time, or energy. Remember, you are learning something very valuable here. Not just how to improve your English, but also how to take care of yourself in a healthy, kind, and respectful way. Let's keep going. Let's now talk about something very important. How to know when you need boundaries. Sometimes people don't even realize they need to set boundaries until they feel completely overwhelmed or unhappy. They might wonder why they feel so tired or stressed, but they don't connect it to the fact that they are giving too much of themselves to others. That's why it's important to pay attention to the signs your body and mind are giving you. These signs tell you that it's time to stop, think, and set some healthy limits. One clear sign is feeling tired all the time. Of course, we all get tired sometimes. That's normal. But if you always feel exhausted, even after you rest or sleep, it may be a sign that you are giving too much of your energy to other people. Maybe you are always helping a friend who calls you at all hours, or maybe you're working late every day because your boss keeps asking for more. When you give too much, your body feels it, and you start to run out of energy. This is your body's way of telling you that you need to create some boundaries to protect yourself. Another important sign is feeling stressed or anxious. If you often feel worried, nervous, or like you can't relax, it might be because people are crossing your boundaries. For example, maybe a coworker keeps asking you for help with their tasks, even when you are busy with your own work. Or maybe a family member keeps demanding your time when you need space. These situations can cause stress because you feel like you have no control. When you set boundaries, you take back control, and your stress levels go down. You might also notice feeling annoyed, frustrated, or angry. Have you ever been upset with someone but didn't understand why? Maybe a friend keeps canceling plans at the last minute. Or maybe a neighbor keeps borrowing your things without asking. You might tell yourself, "It's okay," but inside you feel annoyed or even angry. This is another sign that your boundaries are being crossed. It's your mind's way of telling you, "Hey, something is not right here." Paying attention to these feelings helps you understand where you need to set limits. Another common feeling is feeling used or taken advantage of. This happens when people expect you to always be available, always say yes, or always help, even when it's too much for you. For example, maybe a friend always asks for favors but never offers to help you in return. Or maybe your boss keeps giving you extra tasks because they know you won't complain. When you feel like people only come to you when they want something, it's a strong sign that you need to create boundaries to protect your time and energy. Let me share a few simple examples of situations where boundaries are needed. Imagine you have a friend who calls you every night to talk about their problems. You care about them, but after a while, you start to feel drained because you never have time for yourself. This is a sign that you need to set a boundary, maybe by telling them you can only talk a few times a week or only for a short time in the evening. Another example. At work, a coworker keeps asking you to finish their part of a group project. You feel stressed because you already have a lot to do. This is a clear sign you need to set a boundary by politely telling them you can't take on more work. Or maybe at home. A family member keeps entering your room without knocking, and you start feeling like you have no personal space. That's another place where a boundary is needed. You can kindly explain that you need them to knock before coming in. It's important to remember that noticing these feelings doesn't make you a bad person. You're not selfish or mean for wanting to protect your time, energy, or space. Everyone has limits, and it's healthy to recognize when yours are being pushed too far. By paying attention to the signs, tiredness, stress, annoyance, feeling used, you can take action before you become completely burned out or unhappy. In the next part of the podcast, we'll look at steps you can take to set boundaries in your own life. Keep listening, you are doing great, and I'm proud of you for wanting to learn these important life skills. Now that we've talked about why boundaries are important and why they can be hard to set, it's time to learn how to set boundaries step by step. Many people feel nervous or unsure when they try to set boundaries for the first time, but the truth is, it's something anyone can learn with a little practice. Here, I'll walk you through 5 simple steps that can help you set healthy, respectful boundaries in your life. Remember, you don't have to do it perfectly. You just have to start. The first step is to know your limits. Before you can tell someone else what you need, you have to understand it yourself. Ask yourself, what makes me feel uncomfortable? What situations leave me feeling tired, upset, or stressed? When do I feel like someone is crossing a line? For example, maybe you feel annoyed when a friend texts you all day while you're working, or maybe you feel exhausted when you say yes to too many invitations. Take some time to notice when your body or mind is giving you signals, like feeling tense, frustrated, or overwhelmed. These feelings are clues that you might need a boundary. Knowing your limits is about understanding your own needs and paying attention to what feels right for you. The second step is to be clear and simple when you communicate your boundary. You don't need to give long explanations or many details. You just need to clearly say what you need or what you can't do. For example, if a coworker keeps asking you for help when you are busy, you can simply say, "I'm sorry. I can't help you with that right now. Or if a friend always shows up late and it bothers you, you can say, I'd like us to meet on time, please. Clear and simple language helps people understand your boundary without confusion. If you talk too much or make it complicated, they might not know what you really want. The third step is to use I statements. This means you talk about your own feelings and needs instead of blaming the other person. For example, instead of saying, you never listen to me, you can say, I feel hurt when I'm not listened to. Instead of saying, you're always asking too much from me, you can say, I need some time for myself. Using I statements makes your message sound more gentle and less like an attack. People are usually more open to listening when they don't feel blamed or criticized. The fourth step is to stay calm and kind. It's normal to feel nervous when you set a boundary, especially if you're not used to it. But try to keep your voice calm and your words polite. You don't need to get angry or upset to set a strong boundary. In fact, the calmer you are, the more powerful your message becomes. For example, if someone raises their voice at you, you can calmly say, I'd like to continue this conversation when we're both calm. Or if a family member keeps interrupting your quiet time, you can kindly say, I need a little time alone right now, but we can talk later. Being kind doesn't mean you're weak. It means you respect yourself and the other person at the same time. The fifth and final step is to practice and be patient. Setting boundaries is not always easy at first, and people may not always respect them right away. That's okay. It takes time to change how we communicate and how others respond to us. Be patient with yourself as you practice. You might need to repeat your boundary a few times before someone really understands. For example, if your friend keeps texting you late at night, even after you ask them not to, you might need to gently remind them again. Remember, I go to bed early so I can't reply late at night. Over time, as you keep practicing, you will become more confident and more comfortable with setting boundaries. Remember, setting boundaries is a skill, just like learning English or learning to play a musical instrument. The more you practice, the better you get. You don't have to be perfect, and you don't have to get everything right the first time. What's important is that you keep trying and stay true to yourself. You deserve to have your needs respected, and you have the right to protect your time, your space, and your energy. In the next part of this episode, we will talk about what to do if people don't respect your boundaries, because unfortunately, not everyone will listen the first time. But don't worry. I'll help you with tips and strategies to handle those situations with confidence and care. Let's keep going on this journey together. Now that we've learned the steps to set boundaries, let's talk about something very important: how to handle the reactions from others. The truth is, even when you set your boundaries kindly and clearly, not everyone will react in a positive way. Some people might feel surprised, confused, or even upset when you start setting limits, especially if they are used to you always saying yes, or always helping them. But this does not mean you are doing something wrong. Let's talk about how to deal with these situations and how you can stay strong. First, it's important to understand that some people might not like your boundaries at first. Maybe they were used to you giving them a lot of your time and attention, and now you are saying no more often. Maybe they expected you to always help, listen, or support them, and now you are protecting your own needs. This change can feel uncomfortable for both you and them. For example, if you usually help a coworker with their tasks, but now you tell them you're too busy, they might act disappointed, Or if you tell a friend you can't go out because you need time to yourself, they might feel hurt or confused. These reactions are normal. But remember, just because someone is unhappy does not mean you are wrong. When people react negatively, don't give up on your boundary. It's easy to feel guilty or scared and think, maybe I should just say yes. Or, maybe it's easier if I just do what they want. But remember why you set the boundary in the first place: to take care of your own needs, protect your energy, and create healthy relationships. Giving up on your boundary may bring short-term peace, but in the long run, it can leave you feeling tired, frustrated, or even resentful. So stay calm and firm. You can say things like, I understand you're upset, but I need to stick to this boundary. Or, I know this is new, but it's important for me. You don't have to explain yourself over and over. Just repeat your boundary kindly and clearly. Another helpful tip is to prepare yourself emotionally before you set a boundary. Remind yourself that you are doing something good for your health and well-being. If someone reacts with anger, guilt, or sadness, that is their emotion to manage, not yours. You're not responsible for making everyone happy all the time. For example, if your sibling complains that you don't help them as much as before, you can gently remind yourself that you're allowed to take care of yourself too. It's okay to care about others' feelings, but you should not sacrifice your own happiness just to avoid conflict. It's also useful to practice self-encouragement after you set a boundary. Tell yourself, I did something strong today, or I'm learning to protect my time and energy. You can even write it down in a journal or say it out loud. Encouraging yourself helps you build confidence over time. Setting boundaries is a new skill, and like all skills, it takes practice. You might not feel strong every time, but with each small success, you will become more comfortable and sure of yourself. If someone keeps pushing against your boundary or ignoring it, stay calm and repeat your message. You might need to say it a few times before they understand you mean it. For example, if a coworker keeps asking for help even after you said no, you can calmly say, I have already explained that I can't help with that. If a friend keeps inviting you out even when you need rest, you can say, thanks for the invite, but I need quiet time today. Over time, most people will begin to respect your limits when they see that you are consistent and clear. Finally, I want to remind you that you are not alone on this journey. Many people all over the world are learning to set and protect their boundaries. It's okay if you feel nervous or unsure sometimes. It's okay if you make mistakes or if things don't go perfectly. What matters is that you keep practicing, keep learning, and keep respecting yourself. You deserve to have relationships that are healthy, balanced, and respectful. In the next part of this episode, we will go over some benefits of setting boundaries to help you keep moving forward on your boundary-setting journey. Remember, you are not just improving your English listening and speaking skills through this podcast. You are also learning life skills that will help you feel stronger, happier, and more confident every day. Let's keep going. You're doing great. We've come a long way in this episode, and now it's time to focus on something really exciting: the benefits of setting boundaries. You might be wondering, why should I do all this hard work? What will I gain if I start setting boundaries with people in my life? Well, let me tell you, there are many wonderful things that happen when you learn to set healthy boundaries. It may feel challenging at first, but the positive results are worth it. Let's explore some of the key benefits you will enjoy when you practice this important life skill. One of the first and most important benefits is more respect from others. When you set clear boundaries, people begin to see you as someone who knows their own worth and who values their time, energy, and feelings. You are showing the world that you take yourself seriously. And when you do that, others will take you seriously too. For example, if you tell a friend that you can't answer late-night texts because you need sleep, and you stick to that rule, over time they will learn to respect your quiet hours. They might even admire you for knowing how to take care of yourself. Respect grows when people see that you are confident and clear about what you need. Another huge benefit is less stress. When you have no boundaries, life can feel overwhelming. You might find yourself saying yes to everything, helping everyone, and feeling like you have no time for yourself. This leads to burnout, frustration, and even resentment. But when you start setting limits, you take back control of your time and energy. You begin to make space for rest, hobbies, self-care, and the things that truly matter to you. For example, if you set a boundary at work that you won't answer emails after 6 p.m., you give yourself the chance to relax and enjoy your evenings. You stop carrying the weight of everything on your shoulders, and your mind and body feel calmer. Perhaps one of the most beautiful benefits is that you will enjoy better relationships. Many people think that saying yes to everything and always being available will make people like them more, but in fact, the opposite is often true. When you have no boundaries, relationships can become unbalanced. You might feel taken advantage of, or you might become quietly angry at the people you care about. But when you set clear, respectful boundaries, your relationships become healthier and more balanced. You can enjoy your time with others without feeling exhausted or used. Your friends, family, and coworkers will also understand you better because you are being honest and clear about your needs. Let me share a simple example of a success story. Imagine a woman named Anna. Anna always said yes to everything, helping at work, taking care of family needs, and being there for friends at all hours. She was kind and generous, but she was also tired, stressed, and secretly unhappy. One day, Anna decided to start setting small boundaries. She told her coworkers she could only help during work hours, not on weekends. She told her family she needed 1 hour each day just for herself. She told her friends she couldn't always answer calls right away. At first, some people were surprised, but over time, they began to respect Anna's limits. Anna started to feel more peaceful, more in control, and even more joyful. Her relationships improved, and she had more energy to give when she chose to help others. Anna's life became much healthier and happier, all because she learned to set boundaries. So as you can see, setting boundaries is not about pushing people away or being selfish. It's about creating a life where you can care for yourself and enjoy balanced, respectful relationships. It's about reducing stress and making room for the things that matter most to you. And it's about showing the world that you respect yourself, which invites others to respect you as well. In the final part of this episode, we'll wrap things up with some last words of encouragement and a quick summary to help you remember what you've learned today. Stay with me. You've already come so far, and I'm excited to help you finish strong. We've now reached the end of today's episode, and I want to take this time to recap the key points we've talked about and leave you with some encouragement and final thoughts. Setting boundaries is such an important life skill, and you've done an amazing job just by listening, learning, and thinking about how you can apply these ideas in your own life. Let's go over everything we've covered.